Hello guys, and today we will talk about one more Ukrainian intelligence operation that has a great potential to change the military doctrine globally and can actually compete with the spider web. The head of the Ukrainian SBU reported about the destruction of the Russian Oreshnik, that is an intermediate ballistic missile that the Kremlin used last year to threaten the world. And in the result of the Ukrainian special military and intelligence operation, it was destroyed while still on the Russian side. Might be the reason why Putin, Gerasimov, Shoigu stopped mentioning Oreshnik and now substituted it with Burevestnik. And all of this is revealed when Pentagon seems to be eager to give Ukraine Tomahawks. Putin is terrified and Trump just has to confirm. So let's discuss what is happening with all these missiles and how they speed up the collapse of Putin's regime. My name is Anna, I'm from Ukraine, I'm in Ukraine, and if you want to see more intelligence operations deep inside the Russian area, subscribe, we discuss all of that on the channel, and please share these videos to spread good news and to spread the truth. Today we watched an extremely informative and at the same time very rare interview of the head of Ukrainian SBU, Maliuk. Many of you who follow the course of the Russian war in Ukraine and now Russian war in Russia too might have remembered him after Spider Web, because he was the chief of that operation, in the result of which Russia lost approximately 40% of their strategic cruise missile carriers during one day. And that operation changed the theory and practice of war, because never before similar operations were planned and implemented on the side of the enemy. So all the operation took place in Russia. And something similar happened last year when Ukrainian SBU destroyed Oreshnik. That is a missile that the Kremlin was so proud of. They kept inserting this name literally in all Putin's speeches and interviews. We were even mocking that because they didn't have that many Oreshniks, but they kept talking about them like, I don't know. And then abruptly they stopped talking about Oreshnik. And it was a question that I often received in the comments below my videos. What happened? Why don't they talk about that anymore? And the reason is this tremendous humiliation that they were trying to cover up, but the truth is revealed. So in the result of very secret and very intelligent operation, the Russian Oreshnik missile, and they have like 2 or 3, maybe no, not at all anymore. So that Oreshnik was destroyed while still in Kapustin Yar, that is a place of its location in Astrakhan region, far away from the Ukrainian borders. And that is confirmed by Ukrainian SBU, by foreign intelligence services, and from the comments below articles that speak on that, I see how, surprised and mesmerized the intelligence services are, because literally Ukraine managed to neutralize this intermediate ballistic missile that Russia used to threaten the world with nuclear weapons, still on the Russian side. So this action alone reveals a lot of good things about Ukrainian SBU, but also a lot of really bad things about the Russian army and the Russian intelligence. Just as in case with Spiderweb, they did not manage to prevent it, to predict it, which means finally we are safe from, Russian agents working inside Ukrainian special services. They are present in many special services, but this also reveals that, first of all, Russia does not know what is happening in Ukraine and what our military intelligence groups are working on. Second, that they are not able to protect strategic objects, and these are no ordinary things. This is the weapon Putin used to illustrate Russia's power, to illustrate innovation and danger that the Kremlin brings to this world. And just imagine, Ukrainians destroyed it, still in Russia, still in its hangar, or I don't know, how do you describe a place where they hide these missiles? Thumbs up and subscribe to see more of such things happening as the Russian Federation collapses, together with Putin, Gerasimov, Shoigu, and all that criminal group. So anyway, it also shows that they are not able, to keep this secrecy, that they have a lot of negligent people around, perhaps. And in general, this quality of the Russian army, their intelligence, their missile units is extremely, extremely pathetic. So we may say this is one of the major intel and sabotage operations in the history of the world intelligence. And it is again prepared by Ukrainians. Literally, like every couple of months, we invent something that makes Kremlin weaker and weaker. This subtitle thing that YouTube now has, that Instagram now has, it often corrects my pronunciation of Kremlin into crumbling. And I think like, oh my God, Kremlin is crumbling, and it's actually the truth. So do spread this information, share, like, comment. This helps see Russia in a proper way as it is. Never repeat Russian old Soviet Cold War style propaganda. Modern Russian Federation is a paper tiger that is already collapsing. More updates coming from their central bank, more updates coming from their constantly closing businesses. But this military, and I wanted to say a bad F word, so I will substitute it with failure, is perhaps the greatest exposure that, by the way, might have influenced this decision of Pentagon that they have nothing against Tomahawks supplied to Ukraine. And this can change a lot because, first of all, that is a clear demonstration that the United States stand with Ukraine, stand with European Union, stand with longtime friends, and not with Russia, or North Korea. That's important in these very turbulent times. And also, this adds up panic and fear to the Russian army, to the Kremlin regime, even if we don't get them now, even if we don't use them now. That's a signal. That is one more problem for the already hidden behind problems Russian war machine. And what is interesting, if we are allowed to use Tomahawks, many evil targets that produce weapons, that produce evil inside the Russian area will be demilitarized, thus making this world a safer place, protecting Ukrainians, protecting Europeans, protecting Americans, and even protecting Russians. Let me know in the comments below, do you think Ukraine will get Tomahawk sometime soon? And do you think that soon we will develop another intel operation that can surprise the world? I'm personally confident in the last one even more. Remember that we still have sale in our merch shop, the link to which you will find in the description of this video. -15 on everything, so use this opportunity. And thank you so much for buying me coffees, becoming my patrons and sponsors of the channel. Remember to join me tomorrow 9 p.m. Kyiv for our live conversation. There are a lot of interesting topics, including the coup that can potentially happen in the Kremlin because Putin keeps losing everything: control, power, money, businesses, everything. So let's talk about that more, and follow me on X, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, Discord. All the links that you need to my social media you will also find in the description of the channel. There I share more of my everyday life, including here in Kyiv. And also follow Anna Danilchuk channel that is growing quickly, and there are some worthy discussions that we hold with friends on that new platform, or I prefer saying community. Thank you once again for being friends of mine and friends of Ukraine. United we stand. Slava Ukraini!